Shouldn't have, problem getting over, no scrapes. I was really worried then, I must admit. Woo! Thank God. Welcome back guys to another Escape review. My name is Scott Davies. Today we're looking at the Verreal RS. We're going to jump straight into it. Straight away, there's the deck. Really nicely packaged. The foam on this is about 1 inch thick. There's the board. As you can see, very beautiful with the graphic on top. Nice exposed bolt heads for them to go, for this undercarriage screws to go into. Really nice, and we'll talk about this in a moment. Beautifully logoed trucks, drop-through trucks. Really nice, little attention to details. And I can see already a peek here that it's got the Verreal logo also on the motors. So let's grab this out really quickly. In the box, you obviously get the skateboard. You've got some business cards, 3 amp hour charger, remote control, beautiful, standard, can't go wrong, Hobby Wing controller, controller charger, and T-tool. There's also basic instructions in the bottom of the box. Here is the Verreal, Here is the Verreal RS. It's absolutely beautiful board. It's a 37-inch deck, I believe. Beautiful concave, as you can see there. It's really been designed with the rider in mind. Nice wide bits here at the front and the back, just at the little drop down. Gonna hold your feet, give you a nice wide stance for those nice turns. Drop through deck, as I mentioned. Deck, I've got to get better at that. Drop through, especially if I'm going to review skateboards, right? Drop through deck. Now these trucks are all embossed and labeled with the RS logo. At the back here, they've got these beautiful dual 1500 watt belt drive. This is the first belt drive from Verreal. One thing to note, and this is what I've been told from the supplier, the motors, the trucks, and the deck all come from the same supplier or the same factory that supply Evolve with their goods. So the quality, we can assume, I'd never like to assume, that's why I always test these things, but the quality should be very good. Now these wheels may look familiar. Let me bring it up to the camera really quickly. Do these wheels look familiar? They should. They look very similar to the boosted wheels. Now, the factory is telling me these are boosted quality wheels. We're not saying they're from Boosted, they're not saying they're made by Boosted, but it sure looks the same to me and feels the same as far as the gyrometer. Now underneath we've got a 10S 4P battery configuration. This one is just a smidge over 10 amp hours. This is the standard battery, but there are 2 other battery options, which I will tell you right now. I'm never that good remembering numbers. Now the battery options you can get is 10 amp hour standard 10S 4P. You can get a 12 amp hour Samsung 30Q battery, which is 10S 4P. Or you can get the 12.8 amp hour Panasonic battery, 10S 4P. I'll tell you right now, for that extra $10, 100% go for the Samsung 30Q. The cells are just, in my opinion, far superior for the Panasonics. You're getting 0.8 of an amp hour less, so 12.8 versus 12, but the reduction of sag in those Samsung cells, 100% worth it. If you're gonna spend that extra money, go spend the extra $10 and get the Samsung. It's a very good battery. As I mentioned, dual 1500 motors, they're 6368s, 170 kV, so that's a very nice middle of the road. It's gonna deliver incredibly nice torque on the hills, especially married with that battery. It's got a very customized Hobby Wing ESC. It's got regen braking as we expect, forged trucks. Now these trucks are saying that they're double kingpin, which is fantastic. I hated double kingpin when I first started using them, but I'm finally getting the hang of it. Now these trucks are saying they are 9.5 inches. These don't look like 9.5 inch trucks. Let me just check really quickly. So the trucks are bolt to bolt. You're looking closer to 11 inches. So 11-inch trucks. Now if you're going from outer rim to outer rim of the wheel, you're looking at almost just a smidge under 13.5 inches. So very wide trucks, double kingpin. And you can also see how low that is. Give you an idea, here's a standard Hobby Wing remote. I'll see if that'll fit underneath it. Okay, yeah, slide underneath with about 0.5 centimeter gap. So very, very low. So it's gonna feel very much like a NASCAR going around the track. So these trucks are not your standard Chinese gull-wing clones that you see. These are, as I said, forged and CNC milled, but just look at the thickness on these things. Again, they're all labeled RS, beautifully done, but they're just, these things are very, very, I would say over-engineered, very strong. And at the back, same thing. There you go, look at that. Very, very nice, very, very strong. They've really taken the time to make sure this board will meet your expectations. Okay, there's no wobble, there's no vibration. It's millimeter perfect, which is very, very exciting. Let's go to medium. Same thing, smooth, no vibrations, there's no rattle there at all. Let's go to high now. So there's 3 speed modes. Yeah. Let me just get something. I want to try something. I haven't rehearsed this. Give me 2 seconds. Here is a glass of water on top. Now I want to see if this creates ripples in top speed mode. There was the initial when it started. As of right now, very, very little. It probably means nothing, but you know, I've watched Jurassic Park recently and I had that water idea in my head. All right, so not much more we need to say about this. Finish is of the highest quality I've seen out of China, and I'm not just saying that. It's all blacked underneath, everything's foamed and beautifully done. Saying 25 to 30% hill climb. It's all CNC custom pulleys. It'll also work with Kegels and orangutans, very, very important. And you can also update that to be ABEC and ABEC clones as well, but you'll have to buy the parts separately. Now this is saying top speed of 38 kilometers per hour. I think it'll go faster. I might be wrong. Maybe they've customized it to only do 38 to maximize the range. Braking. Now 9, the deck, it's saying the deck 9-ply Canadian maple. Let me just, this will be a bit boring. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yep, it is 9. Quite thick layers. I thought it was going to be a little bit more. So 9 layers Canadian maple. We know it's got a 13-inch wide truck base, including the wheel. Dual 1500 motors. Regenerative braking. 10S4P battery pack. Not much more we can say. It's raining outside, so we're not going to get a helmet. This bloody rain in Sydney is killing me. It is just driving me nuts. As soon as it stops raining and the roads are dry, we're going to get a helmet, hit the road, and we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. All right, guys, thanks so much for sticking around this far. Pretty big space, as you can see, around us. Not too many cars, a few speed bumps. This will actually be a very good test for this extra low NASCAR skateboard, the Verreal RS. There are some speed bumps I know it won't get over because they're just very steep and this is so low. Some of the speed bumps it should go over without a problem because it has a nice gradual rise. It's quite a fat, wide speed bump. So enough talking, let's lock the car, let's get a helmet. Okay guys, here we go. Initial ride on the Verreal RS. We're going to start off in low speed and let's see how we go. A lot of hope for this board, a lot of hope. Okay, beautiful pickup, and we're at max speed now, so that's pretty quick. I can't see the speedo, but I know that feels about 20 kilometers per hour maybe. It's definitely not slow. Nice smooth speed, good acceleration, no problems there whatsoever, which is very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Puts your mind at ease. Now we are going up a slight hill, so you'll probably see the speed drop a fair bit. Once I get around this corner, I'm going to put it into medium. Okay, we're in medium now. Okay, a lot more power down low. Faster speed climbs, there's definitely more torque there. Just dodge that dirt. These trucks, what can I say? Just dodging those speed bumps you can see. The trucks are very, very stable. There's no wobble in them, which is good. There's no speed wobble coming through, which is very, very inspiring. Makes you want to really carve on this thing. Hope you can hear me. It's a little bit windy out here today. Now this thing is performing exactly how I thought it would. And I gotta say, it feels like a very high-end electric skateboard. It does not feel like a $799 skateboard. So my initial fear is that maybe they'd cut corners and made it a lower priced product have definitely been put to ease. Now I was going to test the turning circle up here. Just going to put it up here, hopefully you can see the turning circle. Check there's no loose gravel. Okay, very, very small. That's about 1.5 meters, I'd say. If there was no loose, here we go. Yeah, about 1.5 meters turning circle on full tilt. So that's very, very good as well. Now, we're going to come along here. It's a nice long straight road. We'll come back in a minute and we're going to put it into top speed mode, and we'll see if we can get to that magic 38 kilometers per hour number. That's the speed bump I knew I wouldn't get over. It's a little bit steep. All right guys, we'll be back soon for the top speed mode, hopefully. Okay, here's a slightly wider speed bump, which we shouldn't have. Oh, problem getting over. Nope, no scrapes. I was really worried then, I must admit. Woo! Thank God. All right, we're just gonna come around the corner. I think there's a nice long straight. I think. It looks long behind me, right? We've got a big speed bump in the middle that you can't see. Let's come around here and see what we've got. Now flip you around quickly. All right, look at that. There's a speed bump about 100 meters in front of me, so. Whoa, when you put that into high speed, it kicks. Holy moly. Ah, a few bumps, a few gravels. Okay, we'll just have to hold on a bit. Another big speed bump there, not a problem. That's an even bigger one, which is good. Okay, there's too much just crap and debris all over the road. I don't know if you can hear it, just spitting out from underneath these wheels. Without knee pads, I just don't want to go. God, there's stuff everywhere. God damn it. I specifically came here because I thought it would be nice and clean, being quite a new road, but there's just crap all over it, unfortunately. So guys, we've just done some runs. You saw the speedo hopefully in the corner. I'm hoping my plan works and it shows in the corner without trying and with a whole lot of shit on the road. So that's a very, very good outcome in my opinion. So now we're just gonna go for a ride and really just get a feel for the board, see how the battery holds out as far as range and so on. This is the standard battery, so it's not the Panasonic or the Samsung 30Q cells. This is the standard 10 amp hour battery. I want to show you this really quickly. Let me just flip you around. This is Sydney after a storm. Hopefully you can see that. That is a beautiful coastline. All the way out to the open ocean there. And then down here, that's all the whitewash foam. The water is a little bit dirtier than usual from all the runoff after those massive storms that we had. Still pretty beautiful though. And it's nice to see some sunshine in Sydney, drying up all those flooded areas. I'm loving it so far. It is very, very low, as I mentioned. It's incredibly low compared to my other boards, specifically the Black Hawk or even the X-Way. They're both quite high boards. This is a very, very low to the ground board, which is nice. but you do need to be aware of that very low ground clearance, because you can get stuck very, very easily. Hello. Look how beautiful that is. Tell you what, when Sydney is on, it is beautiful. It'll be very interesting to see when we do the range test on the RS, what it achieves with that 10 amp hour battery with the standard cells. We'll pick up very shortly somewhere else. Going to find somewhere with some, maybe some hills and somewhere we can do some carving. Right, talk soon. Alright guys, last thing I like to do is a quick hill test. I always use the same hill here at Manly. It's not the steepest hill in the world. It's probably about 18%, but it likes to give you a good indication of how it goes. Now I'm going to start from a standstill and see how it goes. Now if it accelerates up here, we're in good form. Now the X-wave out here would normally start slowing down. I can tell you we are definitely accelerating. I'd say we're on 25 at a guess, 27. Yeah, no issue with the torque on that. Again, 100 kilos up there is pretty good. All right, let's sum it up. I'm gonna head back to the car. I wanna talk about the really great things. I wanna talk about one thing I think needs to be worked on, one very small thing which can be fixed with an email. It's not mechanical or anything. So guys, hold there. I'll be back when I get to the car and we'll have a quick wrap up. We have done the first ride. Thanks for sticking around this long. So I really want to talk about board super quickly, hopefully in about 2 minutes. Let's talk about the good and the great. The ESC is beautiful, super strong, good torque, very, very good brakes. Hobby Wing at its best. Wheels, absolutely incredible. Those boosted quality wheels are sticky and soft and absorb all the bumps. Absolutely no issues there, which is great. The motors, again, dual 1500s, 170 kV, delivers that low down power, but also that top end speed with that bite you want at around the 30k mark. The deck is beautifully strong with no flex. You get a little bit of flex from the Kingpin trucks at the end here. So at each end here where the board meets the trucks, you get a little bit of flex, but that 9-layer maple just is a solid, it's like an X-Way. Like you could really just put all your weight into it and carve and push down and not be worried about the thing snapping on you or bouncing back and giving you a bit of a wobble. So now the trucks as I just mentioned, the trucks are, I think, probably the best part of this board. The fact that they've spent that little bit of extra money, that little bit more research, and gone with these forged CNC milled trucks, which are just bigger, stronger, and they probably are heavier, but they're safer, and they just deliver a more stable ride. It's hard to summarize it. You really need to try one of these boards to understand what I'm talking about. Battery is yet to be seen. We will do the full range test in the coming weeks, but so far so good. We've done a fair bit of Ks. We've only dropped one light. Can't feel any sag yet, which is also great. Now there's only one area on this board, and I feel, And I think I know why. And that comes down to when it leaves the factory, because, you know, Vic's obviously the owner, but I don't think he's building these boards. He's got the factory over there in China. And this happens quite regularly when you're getting boards, or you're getting boards in a rush. It's just that tiny little bit of quality control. And it's not, we're not talking about, you know, bad cells or the ESC's not connected up properly, but just like all 4 of my wheels were probably about 2 full turns too loose. So they need to be tightened up. I know it's not a big deal, and I mean, I check all my skates in here. I always check my skateboards every single time before I ride them. But I just really felt like I needed to mention that, especially if you guys are buying these. Just when you get it, and you should do it with any skateboard, boosted, Evolve, Le Crocs, whatever it's called, Trampo, any board you get, just check the nuts, check the important stuff, check your wheels, check your motor mounts, make sure they're tight. You know, you don't want to put your life in the hands of someone who you don't know who's tightened up that bolt, whether it be in California or China or Germany or wherever. So that really is my only negative, was just that. And as I said, it's solved with an email. I'll send the owner an email right now, let him know, and I know for a fact he will welcome this feedback. He's asked me and the other guys who are reviewing these boards, tell me everything that you don't like, because he wants to make sure it's perfect when it starts getting delivered out to consumers. So guys, that's what I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a long one, but it's been a bit of a special board, this one. The RS has been a board in the making for 12 months, as I mentioned. Remember, always wear a helmet, skate safe. We'll see you on the next video, which will probably be the long range on this, or the long range on the Revel kit, which you may have previously seen last week. Thanks guys.